Summer is now officially here, but I'm sure you've already felt like it's been here a while. Best report days this week are Thursday and Friday. You are listening to the Arbitrage Trade Weekend News. I'm your host, Darren Harper, bringing you 3 things you need to know for this weekend and 2 interviews, which are teens and social media and fun and free and in the sun or not. Also, check out our winner and loser this week in the market. The 10-year stays around 4.2, and the 10-2 split is up to around 48. WTI crude rises over 80. Here's 3 things. The inventories of homes for sale was 6.7% higher month to month and 18.5% higher than last May. We also have a new all-time high for average price of an existing home, which is $419,300. That is almost 6% up over last year. Previously owned homes bought is at a 30-year low. Something will eventually have to give, and I have a feeling it won't till mortgage rates come down, which are hanging right around 7%. Citigroup, JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and Bank of America were hit by regulators over their living will plans. These are plans of systemically important banks to basically survive. The Fed and FDIC say that the banks' plan on how they will unwind their huge pile of derivatives is faulty at best. These derivatives are how stocks, bonds, and currencies or rates all get nicely packaged and put on a shelf at the time. These living wills were instituted after the 2008 crash, and it appears that some have not learned from it. The transparency of what these derivatives are is certainly not clear at all. Case in point is the details of the Credit Suisse UBS fiasco that will be hidden until 2055. You just have to ask yourself why this is not public information now, and if the reason is because it is just a domino in the entire system that implicated many other banks, including these that are being challenged. Here are the bigs for next week. Sunday is Public Service Day. Monday, not a whole lot going on, but on Tuesday, the Consumer Confidence Survey comes out, which can be a mover. Wednesday, it's new home sales and oil inventory, and then we start the big stuff. Thursday, it's durable goods orders, GDP for U.S., initial jobless claims. Friday, it's the UK GDP, US Core PCE, Chicago PMI, and the Fed Monetary Report. Saturday is UK Armed Forces Day, and the China Manufacturing PMI comes out. Trade while you're sleeping across time zones with Arbitrage Trade Assist. Sign up today at arbitragetrade.com. Arbitrage Trade is your trusted source for business, finance, and tech info.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hi, Caroline. Welcome to Arbitrage Studios.
Thank you, Mr. Darren.
We've talked about it several times this week, but it is kind of important, and that's teens and social media.
Yes.
And for me, forget it could be anybody. Like adults have the same issue.
Right.
That have the teen mindsets too. So this is a problem, and our Surgeon General decided that it is a problem. And similar to like in the shaming and stuff that happened before, when Facebook went through everything and they brought old Zuck up and the whole congressional thing that they went through.
Yes.
So now he decided, hey, let's put this social media tag on there, a warning label.
Yes.
Like cigarettes.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
The Surgeon General's warning.
Right. Vivek Murthy, did I get it right?
Yay!
Yes.
You did. Good job. Yay.
Yay, I got past my short-term memory to a little bit longer-term memory. We'll call it swing memory, I guess. What do you think about that? I mean, you wrote a lot of stuff about it and got some examples from some teenagers, I guess.
Yes.
So tell me more about that.
Well, it's important to note that Dr. Murthy did say, putting a warning label on it does not make it safe. Just like a label on the box of cigarettes doesn't make it safe. But he cited evidence from tobacco studies to show that the warning labels can increase awareness and then can maybe change behavior. Kind of makes you think about what you're doing. So obviously a warning label won't change the content. You yourself have to change your behavior, but he's hoping to just bring awareness to it. So that's something important to note. He doesn't say that, slapping a label on it doesn't change it.
So he's he must have listened to what we said earlier. So my pushback on that a little bit is obviously doesn't keep people from smoking. It just gives them a warning. But you would think throughout the years, and as much as it's come up, that there's been enough warning, if you will, about that.
Right.
And that it really technically comes down to the parenting instead
Yes.
of government trying to parent.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to take that stance just to be there.
Well, and I mean, I get that, he's 9.5, and I'm
Yes.
sure his friends will be getting phones soon, and he'll be asking
I'm
for
sorry.
one. I know.
Scary.
And I used to be a teacher, and
Right.
so I taught high school. So I saw a lot of the thing that they've been saying as well is that us as adults, even though we can still kind of get sucked into social media just like the teens can, we didn't grow up with it.
Right.
And so that's kind of something I guess I'm not really surprised, but just to see the numbers that about 95% of kids aged 13 to 17 say that they use a social media platform, and 1/3 of those say that they use social media almost constantly.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, when I was teaching, put your cell phones away. I bought one of those like shoe pockets that you put on the back of a door, and I had it numbered, and I made them put their phone in the pocket for my class because if it's in their pocket, it is too tempting.
That probably gives them anxiety when you take it away. It's like a pacifier.
Yeah.
Just take it away and put it in the pocket, and they're like, well, what do I do with my hands now?
Do math, take notes.
Yes.
But I mean, it was kind of funny, someone would forget to have their phone on silent, and they would, a notification ding, and they would all go like, oh, was that mine? Ooh, I need to check it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's kind of like what we talked about with the dopamine hit, last week with buying things. You get those little hits.
It's almost like an addiction or drug.
It absolutely came. I think that's kind of where Dr. Murthy's coming from.
Yeah.
With his recommendation. Of course, it does require congressional approval to do that. But
Sure.
Anyway, yes.
And I'm all for it as long as there's not a, me.
Yes.
There's not an alternative reason for that, like to just black mark this social media because we don't like it versus this one. So we're going to put labels on this one versus that one. So it'd be interesting to see what kind of process is used for that.
Exactly. I was listening to a podcast actually today on my way into work, and they were discussing this as part of the kind of intro to the podcast. And they were like, what are they going to do? Like, do a pop-up? Like, how's that going to work? How many times do we read a pop-up? I pop up and I just click the X, like, without really reading it. And so that was something I had not considered. How are they going to do this? So there's obviously still work that needs to be done.
How to react to it. It's like, click that X, you're right. It'd be, and then once you know how something becomes non-effective if it's always there because you always just look past it.
Right. Yeah, it's like, did I take my vitamins this morning? I don't know. I do it every morning. It's just a habit.
Was that yesterday I remember taking it or
right.
today? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, social media obviously is dangerous. And if you listen to that podcast, I should just let you run the podcast today. But, yes, the instant gratification, the addiction, like you said, the dopamine rush. It's almost gaming your life.
Yeah,
it's almost a virtual life because you're not like we used to do when we come home. We'd go out and run the streets and have fun and interact and actually exercise. And now we're just exercising our brain and our
thumb.
Yeah, and our thumbs. Some people do it with one. It's crazy. And then, the other things, and I get as far as the health reasons, but then you've got like your keyboard warriors, you've got your trolls, you got your predators, you got all of those out there.
Right.
And I get warnings for that too. But I just don't know how a label would fix that. I feel like it should come from schools, maybe even a class. You could almost do a whole class on social media.
Well, my son, and when we were growing up, we called it library. They now call it media.
Oh, nice.
Because they do different media, different media type things.
Sure.
And they always do, every year they have a digital citizenship component to it. You don't give out your name and your age. You don't say where you live.
Good. I didn't know that.
And so even in elementary school, at least at his school, they do some digital citizenship.
Yeah, you wonder public, private, who does what and who's teaching what on that kind of thing.
Well, and even what's mandated by the state versus not. Is this something that his school librarian decided to add in, or is it something that's mandated?
All right. Well, anything else you want to throw in there? I mean, any statements by the kids that might maybe stood out to you?
Yeah, my favorite one was by an 18-year-old. I found an article that had quotes, and I just pulled some of them.
Right.
One of the source articles that I used had a lot more. But my favorite one, this was advice that teens were giving to other young people of things they wish they had known before they started using social media. So this is an 18-year-old. So, he might have been using it for 4 or 5 years already at this point. And he said a lot of it's not real. The things that people post on social media, it's just their highlight reel, like the 1% of their life that they want to showcase to other people. And so, as you're living your own life, you see 100% of it, and you only see everyone else's highlight reel. Yeah. And that can really go to some mental health problems very quickly, at least in my experience.
Sure.
And so I have to remind myself of that I'm seeing everyone's highlights, but I'm living my whole life.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. I mean, it's like when you date. For the first couple of weeks, you're going to see the best foot forward, right?
Right.
And then once you have gone on a couple of more, whoa, wait a minute.
Exactly.
Those layers are getting peeled off here, and ooh, look at that.
It's like Shrek, the layers of an onion.
Yes, yes. Ooh, that's right. Well, that's a good one. That's a good one, and it's good that at least there's some kids in that age range that are actually reflecting on what they're doing.
At least a few are.
Yeah, because some won't listen to parents and adults. They'll listen to someone that's in their group, which is always good.
Yes, for sure.
Good job. Yeah, social media, I mean, we're stuck with it. And
it's not going away.
Now we're throwing in generative AI, and who knows what kind of mix and cocktail that's going to be. I mean, you'll be talking to a bot that's trying to do harm. So I think this is where and why Elon Musk was saying it's very dangerous. And this is one of the reasons probably why. Because you can have technically robots trying to cause harm on the internet that aren't even people.
Yeah. Right. They're enough with people trying to cause harm. We don't need to add in the robots.
Yes, cold androids trying to take people down. Well, yeah, I appreciate you bringing this up. It's a very good subject. It's one I'm sure we'll deal with more. We dealt with it a lot this week in all of our different things we've done. And I appreciate you bringing it up and bringing those examples. Those were fun examples. If you'd like to read the other teenage examples that were given, then make sure you go to our blogs at arbitragetrade.com. And I will see you again next week.
Sounds
Caroline,
good.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Right, bye.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school.
Jessica has been through a lot in her life from early childhood.
My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She came in looking to complete her diploma. She had a family she had to take care of. Anytime she needed help, we provided her help. She realized that we were here for her.
She wants to have a career so her kids could look up to her.
My graduation, it was something I will never forget. I couldn't explain the emotion I was feeling because people like you and me sometimes may have doubts in ourselves, but I feel that everything's possible.
Jessica's future is brighter than ever.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hello, Royce. Welcome to Arbitrage Studios.
Thank you,
Or studio.
Darren.
It's just one studio.
No, I mean, we can make it.
Future expansion.
Future expansion.
That's right. Well, did you know that yesterday, well, actually been 2 days ago, was the official start of summer?
Hey, the dog days of summer.
We'll see.
Summer loving, having a blast?
Summer nights.
No, those summer nights, yes.
You be Olivia, I'll be John, okay? I don't want to put a wig on.
I don't look good in spandex. This is a bad idea. Where are we going with this?
I don't know. Let's get back to focus here. I have a quote you wrote about summer.
Yes.
And free and
kids and basically
and things
getting
to
out
do and because kids get bored easy, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, and you don't want them overeating. So.
Yes. And I have a quote.
Okay.
It's by Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of the
I
best.
like that guy.
Yes. Live in the sunshine, swim in the sea, drink in the wild air. That's all he said. That's all he had to say.
But the mosquitoes.
Yes, I think is that the small print down here at the bottom. He was having a bad day that day.
If you do that in the wrong order, you could probably die.
Oh, I suppose so. Mr. Math, here he is again.
Hey, order of operations.
Order. That's right. Where are the parentheses in that? All right. So.
Are the parents.
There you go. You're going to talk about parents here.
Yes.
So the summer's here. It was officially started 2 days ago on the 20th.
Excellent.
Even though it really felt like we've been in the summer for about a month. It
Welcome
feels like
to
here in
the
Memphis.
Dirty South.
Yes.
Not to be confused with those dirty birds in Atlanta, but we'll just keep on talking.
Why is everything dirty down here? What's going on?
I don't know. I got a jar of dirt.
I'll bet a Yankee came up with that that saying.
Probably
many years ago. All right, so
dirty dogs.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. we have a free or cheap is kind of what you were looking at.
Yes, free or cheap.
Which with the way things are going in the economy, that's a good thing.
Yes.
We need that. And
hopefully inflation doesn't steal our freedom.
Yes. Oh. Does that mean
that?
you're free and dumb?
Oh.
No. Okay.
That's the only time you'll get away with that.
Yes. I can't think of any other way. So let's talk about that. Outdoors, you said something about parks and nature, and I assume neighbors' pools. You break in their backyard and swim in it, stuff like that.
So a lot of people think that you have to go outside to experience free, but creativity is both indoors and outdoors, right?
Right.
So I know because technology is basically bleeding into everything.
Yes.
Right? Whether it's AI, whether it's computers, laptops. My 8-year-old, she'll be 9 in July, asked me for a phone. I'm like, why do you need a phone?
It's that time. You and Caroline, they're both, well, he hasn't asked for one yet, but give him time.
But they're looking for distractions. They're looking for stuff to do. So basically, you can be creative with your kids. Basically, my kids play instruments, so basically we write songs together.
What a surprise. Your kids
silly
do that.
songs, right?
There you go.
Not with Larry, with Royce. Hey. And we draw, and we even use AI, ChatGPT, to basically, it's like, hey, okay, we made up this silly song. Let's make a bear sitting down with a butterfly having morning tea. Why not? Right? And the image creator will create stuff like that. We print it out, and then so we got kids writing books and being just creative in their free time, right?
Is there a warning label on that software yet?
Potentially there could be,
exactly.
or may need to.
Or
but luckily, ChatGPT,
parent in the room type.
It has been real good with making sure that things are where they should be for that type of technology.
Especially, I mean, intelligent kids get really bored.
Yeah,
because they're always searching for something to do and to keep them entertained, as we say.
Yeah.
So I know that it's important for the parent. I mean, intelligent and not so intelligent. Just keep them occupied with something that's wholesome and healthy, so that they don't go find it themselves, because they will.
Yes.
And you don't want to leave them to go find things themselves.
No, like one of my daughters, I'll say no names. But I have 3 daughters. One of my daughters got her summer reading list, right?
Right.
As well as her summer math packet. And within 3 days, she had finished all of her summer lessons for the summer.
She's competitive. She's got to be.
No, she just was like, I want to get it done. And she just went, okay, there were 3 books Monday to Wednesday. She finished all 3 books, and when she was bored reading the books, she'd work on the other 2 things.
Right.
And so, she finished the math day 1. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, but didn't you have your brother to bother you? What are you doing?
Future CEO there.
And no, he's like, no, he was playing on something called Adapted Minds, right?
There you go.
And so he really likes history, and he really likes interactive. So Adapted Minds online, you basically go on there and basically teach you about history and all different things, and they make it fun. And they have every subject. So he was playing with that while she was doing that. So they weren't just, watching YouTube on how to beat Mario Odyssey. They actually got to do some, and just going out to the park, going skating. We like to skate. So there's a website called Skating, Kids Skates for Free. Kids Skate for Free.
Instead of going to the skating rink and pay for stuff.
They basically, the adults still have to pay, but if you have skates, you literally go to the site.
Yeah.
You get a voucher, and it's good for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I mean, it's literally, if you just want to make a weekend of skating. By the way, don't do that. My legs killed me the first time we did that.
Felt like the old days.
Yeah.
Another One Bites the Dust was playing, and they don't do that anymore, do they? I don't guess.
But this also works. We're in Memphis, right?
Right.
But down in DeSoto County, where there's an ice skating rink, it works there too.
Right.
So whether it's inline skates, roller skating, or however, it's free for the kids, so you just got to get in the car and say, okay, we're going, right? And then if you have gym memberships, YMCA, you have swimming, basically lots of things to get them out there, get them fired up, and basically not just become couch potatoes.
Well, you mentioned geocaching too, which I did. I've done with kids when I was younger and they were younger, and it was fun. It was basically treasure hunting is all it is for those that don't know. And you know, it might be a little small thing, but then you also take something to replace it with, and then you just pass it along. It's a really cool thing.
Yeah, basically, if you want to think about it, Pokemon Go is big in the summer. They basically around parks, they hide these fictitious Pokemon.
Yes.
And you're trying to get the rare one, so you wind up going this place that it's just geocaching.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It's just geocaching.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, you can find the rare, you know, whatever the name of that fish that becomes a dragon.
I played, I'll admit it, and I played it probably within the last 8 years. But no, it's gone. From
it's
my
gone.
phone.
Yes, but it's like, hey, you can get the pink one, the blue one, the green one, whatever. The rarest rare,
the shiny, shiny one or something.
Yes, the shiny one. Yes, they're shiny.
That's right. So you also talked about maybe doing some gardening, and I tell you, it's to teach them. It's almost like take a person to the water and fishing and all that good stuff, and teach them how to fish.
Yes.
And they'll never go hungry. It's kind of like that. I mean, you teach them sustainability, and so no matter what, they'll have that to take with them.
And that also won't make them complain about the heat.
Yeah. It's always an ulterior motive. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like, hey, hard work gives you fruit, quite literally.
Yep.
We have a vegetable garden, and we have some cucumbers, some bell peppers, some tomatoes, a couple watermelons. Basically, it keeps them active. The only trick is don't let the dog get to the garden.
Oh, yes. I tell you, things that if you keep them both occupied, then they're not fighting with each other.
Yes.
So that's a big one. Keep minds occupied, and then maybe they don't fight each other. Hey, that could apply to adults too.
Yeah. So
something to be learned.
You need more work. That's what I heard.
I am. My stack is full. Thank you. All right, Royce, you got anything else on the summer besides just stay cool, keep
make
hydrated,
sure
and
drink lots of water,
and stay busy.
Stay creative.
Yeah,
stay creative. Don't get bored. Life's only boring if you decide not to do something.
100%. Thank you, Royce, for coming by. We will see you next week.
All right, I'm busy.
I won't see you then. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
This week's winner and loser in the markets. The loser is Zentalis Pharmaceuticals. That's ZNTL. They are headquartered in New York, and they are a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company which engage in discovering and developing clinically differentiated, novel small molecule therapeutics targeting fundamental biological pathways of cancer. Monday, ZNTL opened at $8.84, and by Tuesday it had fallen all the way to $3.93. This stock had been falling all month. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration placed a partial clinical hold on 3 studies testing its cancer drug, following the death of 2 trial participants. 52-week high was $29.42, and the low, which was just set, $3.93. And the winner is Allego, ALLG. They are headquartered in the Netherlands, and they provide charging solutions for electric cars, motors, buses, and trucks for consumers, businesses, and cities. Allego had their ER last Friday when it closed around 68 cents. At opening this Monday, the stock was at 79 cents. And then boom, it shot up to as high as $1.96 and has held there ever since. Interesting. 52-week high is $3.06 and the low 57 cents. Visit arbitragetrade.com and learn about Pips, our AI bot, to let you stop watching and start living. We are not financial advisors. We provide an AI bot algorithm service. Thank you for joining us today for another edition of Arbitrage Weekend News. Log into arbitragetrade.com to read our wide variety of blogs and educate yourself on Trade Assist and Forex trading, or even how to make passive money with our Trade Assist Affiliate Marketer program. You can even get to know our cute little AI bot called Pips. Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC is a privately held research company. Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC is solely responsible for the preparation and distribution of the contents of this podcast. The opinions offered in this podcast are for informational purposes only and are not intended to function as investment advice. Seek a duly licensed professional for investment advice. For more information about the informational research and services offered by Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC, please visit arbitragetrade.com.